Mike Radich here, and I'm now joined on the phone by MFC Lightweight champion Antonio McKee. Antonio, how are you?
I'm good, man. Just chilling. Just got done training. That's where I'm going. Be ready to clean out my closet and get some clothes for charity, and then I'm going to sit my ass in my jacuzzi and smoke me a big old fat Hanukkah.
Antonio, how's training been going for the fight with Brian Cobb? Are you working on anything specific for this fight?
You know what? This is probably the best camp I've had because I'm not working on anything specifically. I'm working on what I've been working on for the last 10 years. I think I finally perfected it, and I think I'm going to leave it a little secret. I think me and Brian Cobb are going to have one of the best fights of the night, and I think it's going to bring a lot of attention to him and me, whether he wins or loses. He's definitely a number one contender for the MFC Lightweight title. So I think being that said, you guys are going to be entertained. And I think me and him both know what we could do. We could both go out there and lay on each other and make it a wrestling section, and everyone don't really understand what's going on because it's such a technical wrestling game. But I think Brian's like where I'm at. He's like, look, I'm going to put it all on the line. Let's entertain these people. Give all the credit to God, and let's be friends afterwards. Let's put on a show, and that's what we're going to do. So I think we're both on the same page right now as far as the way the fight's going to go and what he's going to do and what I'm going to do.
You fought a lot of tough guys, Marcus Aurelio, Carl Parisian, Derek Noble, Carl Prater, the list goes on and on of good guys you fought. Where does Brian Cobb rank amongst those guys?
Well, to me, honestly, I think this is a bad matchup for Brian Cobb because really I can't see where he's going to beat me at. Unless I just gas completely out, which I've never done in a fight. And he'd have to have some shape to push the pace of that fight like that. I just can't see where he's going to beat me. Where is he stronger than McKee? Is he a better wrestler? Some people will say no. Does he have Division I guys to wrestle with every day? Yes. But I'm not a wrestler anymore. I'm an MMA fighter. Is his striking better than mine? Absolutely not. Is he faster than me? No. Is he stronger than me? No. Does he have more experience in the ring than me? No. So really, this is just going to be one of those things where me and Brian Cobb, we've already made a decision, and we're going to go out here and we're going to try to do something neither one of us has never done, and we're going to try to knock each other out.
In Brian Cobb's last fight, he fought Drew Fickett. Now, I know that you and Drew Fickett had a little bit of a beef, or whatever you want to call it. Were you kind of sad that Brian Cobb beat Drew Fickett because you wanted to fight Fickett, or did you like seeing Drew Fickett lose?
Well, you know, I think the media and the people and a lot of people who are interviewing fighters could bring the wrong concept when they say bad blood between. I have no bad blood toward no fighter, except for Alvarado. And after the fight was over, we resolved all of that. But I don't have any bad blood toward anybody that I'm fighting. This is a sport. It's a level of competition for me. There's a little shit talking here, shit talking there, but it doesn't get personal. I've never disrespected someone as a human being. Like, talk what I'm going to do, beat your ass, thank you, or whatever. But I don't get personal. So, no, I didn't have a problem with Drew Fickett winning or losing. I want the better fighter, and that night, as strange as that fight looked to me, it didn't even look like a fight. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I don't know why the ref stopped it. I wasn't there. I didn't see and hear what was being said, but it didn't look like a good stoppage to me. I think Brian Cobb would have eventually weathered the storm and won that fight anyway. So I'm glad that he won, and I think it's a little bit of a tougher fight because he's better than Drew Fickett in the area where I specialize in. But the funny part was Drew Fickett took him down with ease. And being a Division I wrestler coming from a Division I camp, no jiu-jitsu guy should just take a wrestler down. I'm not looking to go wrestle this fight. We're gonna actually test our endurance with our hands and see who hits harder. I don't care anymore. I don't have anything to lose. You know, I'm at the end of my career. I'm having fun. There's no pressure on me. My family loves me win or lose. My fans love me whether win or lose. And I'm doing something most people dream of doing at 42 years old. Getting in there and competing on a level with a high level of fighters at the lightweight division. I will probably be the oldest fighter in the history to ever fight in the lightweight division that has a reputable record and that has fought international, worldwide, and have the type of record that I have. I don't think anybody at 42 years old can do that. So I've already made history in my book.
There was some rumors swirling around that if you lost this next fight, that you would retire. Is there any truth to this rumor?
Well, it depends. You know, I've got another fight set up for March 26th, so I'm not a quitter because I lost. I'm a quitter because I'm not having any fun anymore, and it's personal. Anytime something is personal when you're doing it, it's kind of hard to go to work every day when you hate your job, right?
Right.
Well, once I start to feel the pressure of not, enjoying what I'm doing, because I enjoy fighting. I truly do. I enjoy the art. I enjoy the science. I don't enjoy busting someone's head open. I don't enjoy knocking someone's tooth out or dislocating the arm or elbow or shoulder. I don't enjoy that. I enjoy the art of two men, and one man is more dominant than the other, and he's doing it with style and class. I enjoy that. I enjoy DSP. I enjoy watching how gracefully he's able to execute whatever it is he wants to do on everyone. That's amazing to me. So, no, to the answer to your question, I don't think if I lose I'd retire from this, but I probably wouldn't have a ticket back to the MFC.
How many more fights do you have left on your contract with MFC? Because I read somewhere that it was just this one last fight is left on the contract.
It's just one fight. It's a one-shot deal. After the fight, based on how it goes, me and Mark Talley will sit down and talk about the future of MFC and Antonio McKee.
You were supposed to fight Shin Aoki back May of last year. What happened with that fight, and would you still like to face Aoki?
I would love to face Aoki. There's not too many people that are on the circuit right now that's left a fight where people need to say, hey, he needs to fight someone that's tough. He needs to fight a guy that's credible. Antonio McKee is definitely credible. So I think they're running out of opponents to keep throwing into space. And the fans are tired of watching him submit and fight people that everyone knows he's going to win.
Right.
I think I would definitely present a challenge, and I think the people would like to see it more than anybody. They'd like to shut my mouth up. And then the Japanese people would like to say, oh, he beat Antonio McKee. That makes him official. Other than that, you can keep fighting these guys that are just strikers. You take them down, you tap them out. That's great. That's your style. That's your game. Let Antonio McKee take you down. Let me see you submit Antonio McKee. Or can you take Antonio McKee down, or do you get punched in the face by him? I fight every fight with strategy. Now, they keep matching me up with these guys that are jiu-jitsu guys, which I know I'm better than them on the ground. I'm going to take them down. Put me with a good striker. Depending on how good of a striker he is in my book, is where the fight will be. Aoki, I definitely keep on the feet.
Right.
So, I would love to fight Aoki. The reason it didn't happen was because I tore my meniscus, and then I went in and had surgery. I got a phone call, hey, would you like to fight Aoki? And I absolutely would have loved that fight. So immediately right after surgery, I went on a 4-mile run within 48 hours of surgery for my meniscus because I thought, I've never had any injuries, so I thought, oh, okay, I'm fine. They went in there, they cleaned it, they did what they had to do. Now I'm getting back to training. And I ended up slipping a disc in my lower back because, like a dumbass, I went running 4 miles on the beach. And I ended up slipping a disc 3 days later. And I had 2 weeks to fight Aoki, and I even said, listen, I'll fight him. I want this fight, even hurt. But I can't make the weight because I can't run. I can't get in shape. So, I'm just going to go out there and try to knock him out. Unfortunately, my camp was like, look, coach, we're not going to let you take the fight. And then I had to pull out again. I mean, think about it. All my career, over 40 fights, I've never pulled out of a fight. In the last 2 fights, I've had to pull out of because of injury. 2 things I learned from it. 1, don't take it for granted. 2, I'm a lot older, and I need to train different. I was just grinding every day. Grind. And now I realize, you know what, just as much time as you put in on a mat, you got to also take that same amount of time, double it, and take time to let your body recover.
Right.
So it gave me a lot of knowledge on the way that I should be as a fighter. And a mentor and a teacher.
If you were to get the opportunity to face Aoki, would you fight him similar to the way Gilbert Melendez fought him in Strikeforce?
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely keep it on the feet. I would stay away from him. But I'm a catchy guy. I'd have to just test him on the ground once. Because I don't think he's so... See, everyone's got a strategy with me, right? They tell you, oh, yeah, McKee is going to hold me down. Like I tell people, look at the video. Am I ever holding someone? No. I'm trying to knock their liver through their spleen. I'm trying to crush their face skull when I hit them. they're the ones holding me, trying to get the ref to stand us up. And then you notice they don't gauge forward. They all run around because they felt that power. No one knows the power that I have and how hard I hit until I hit them. They will tell you, I've never told anybody they're strong. Man, McKee hits hard. Look at their faces. They all get stitched up. They all have knots and welts all over their face because I land shots. I land shots that are not the big power shots. I land those little sneaky shots that cut you, that no one's really seeing. And by the third, fourth round, your face is all lumped up and your corners going, what the hell is happening to your face? He's scared me. Those are the things that I do when I slowly pick a person apart. That's why no one's asking for rematches. Never a guy said, I want to rematch McKee. Because it's a very different experience with me. I have a gift when I'm on top. I have heavy hips. I'm strong. And you know what? I'm in great shape. I will not get tired. It doesn't exist in my book. Which is one of a lot of black men's issues, is that they lack cardio. But I understand why we lack cardio. So I train the way I fight. And it's a blessing.
The last time you fought for the MFC, you fought against Acevedo. You cut him open with a huge elbow, cut him on the forehead. How did that feel? Was that the best performance of your career? Because there are a lot of people criticizing you. Oh, he doesn't finish fights. He's boring. He's this.
Absolutely not. You know what? Like I said, I can do that to anybody. Who's going to stop me from taking him down? And who's going to stop me from elbowing him in the face? Let's be real here. I chose not to fight that way because I didn't like the brutality of the sport. I don't like that portion of it. I didn't just learn how to throw those elbows. Do you think I just made that up for this fight? Come on. I've been doing that for over 15 years, but I never brought it against an opponent because I was never angry. Acevedo made me angry. And that's when I said, you guys messed up and brought the nigga out of me. When you bring me to that level, it's not about fighting anymore. It's personal. And that's what he did. He called me old. He was going to retire me. He said some really mean things. I understand marketing and pumping the fight up. Well, you just better have an answer for what I'm going to do. And he had no answer for it. And afterwards, I went back to while they were stapling his head up. And I said, hey, it's nothing personal. I'm sorry, for what happened in the ring tonight. You were a warrior in my eyes. I will always have respect for you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I walked away. This is why people have so much respect for Antonio McKee. The people that talk crap about me, who are they? They're ignorant fans that don't know the sport.
Right.
Except for Bosch Rutten, the weirdo. Other than that, people respect me because you know what? I'm a gentleman. I'm a mentor. I'm a scholar in the sport, and I understand it. That I talk about, the things that I talk about, these are facts. It's not my personal opinion. And anyone that's listening that wants to call in and ask me a question, I've got the answer for every question. Whether you agree or disagree, 9 times out of 10, my answer is going to be an actual fact. I don't like opinions because it's like an asshole. Everybody's got one. But I will support everything that I say based on fact. And I know for a fact that if I had to fight one of your people, one of your cousins or your brother or your uncle, or even your father, let's say, how would you feel if I split his head open with an elbow and split his head open in his face and he had to get it stapled up? All of a sudden, do you like that now? Did you want to see me finish your uncle? Did you want to see your uncle's face split open with a scar that he'll have there for the rest of his life and he only made $3 grand?
No.
No. All of a sudden now, you want to be looking at it as a sport. These guys are just going to go out here, they're going to do a great job, and make the best man win. You're not looking for the brutality all of a sudden now. You're not looking for his face to be split open now, his nose to be broke, his teeth knocked out. Why? Because that's someone that you have emotions or you have feelings for, right? So then let's keep this sport a sport and stop entertaining people with this demonic, sadistic, bust your nose, split your eye open, and blood in your face, and you're licking your blood and running through the ring. Who wants to watch that shit? What happened to the Grace technique? Watching GSP move around and not get hit and beat guys effortlessly in a decision because no one could stop what he does. Or he submits them with the arm bar. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be brutal. And we're building this sport around ignorance.
Right.
Which means the crowd is getting drunk, they're partying, and they want to see somebody get hurt. You're starting now to develop a crowd that's starting to fight in the crowd now. Now almost every MMA show you go to now, there's a fight in the crowd.
Right, yes.
eventually what we're going to have here is a catastrophe. You're going to have people killing each other. You're going to have stuff in the parking lot. Everyone's going to want to drink and then fight because they're watching it. I mean, let's keep this a sport, people. Let's not override this sport and make it entertainment, because this ain't no WWF. These are real punches, real elbows, real knees. We have not seen a portion of the side effects from this sport. Not only just the physical aspect of it, but let's talk about the chemical addiction that a lot of these fighters are on. They're on Oxycontin, they're on Vicodin, they're on painkillers, they're popping steroids, they're doing growth hormones. Are you serious? Let's talk about this, because this is important, and it's coming from a fighter that is a fighter.
Right.
Take some big box steroid monster who makes $1 million to go in here. These guys can afford the juice. It's the knowledge behind the steroids. A lot of these guys don't have the knowledge, so they're just pumping dope in them. A lot of these guys are going to have kidney failures within the next 15, 20 years from MMA. You're going to see parts of fighters' bodies, internal injuries, falling apart. And they have no medical, they have no retirement, no pension, and really no protection. So what are we saying? So are we going to call this a sport, or are we going to call this just some gothic Roman fight to death? Eventually we'll be fighting to death. Watch, I guarantee it.
I'm just curious, did you happen to catch the piece on the fighter pay that was on ESPN?
Absolutely. I've been chopping the UFC up for the longest. I've been chopping Dana White up for his stupidity, his idiocy. He's just a guy that has no integrity. Okay, he's an icon of the sport. I always say this in almost every interview. He is definitely, the UFC is the best organization in the world to fight for. We know that. But why? It's because of the platform that the fighters get to stand on. But are they truly being compensated for what they're doing? Yeah, you'll get a $100,000, $50,000 bonus, but you got to damn near lose a brain and a skull in the middle of that cage and come back and fight again in 2 months. Is it worth it? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I think we need a union. I've been trying to push this union. I've been working with the culinary union in Vegas to move forward. There's a lot of allegations and lawsuits and stuff going up against the UFC for monopoly. They have a legit case, but it's very difficult when you have fighters that are on the platform of the UFC, and that's how they get paid, to talk about or against them. Now, I Free Willing can openly say what I saw and what I've been a part of, and the guys that I've trained that fought for the UFC, and it's straight out slavery. I said it in an interview. I said the UFC is the new slave masters for black men, because you guys are going to come in with your education, because if you look at the statistics, most of these fighters are extremely intelligent guys that have educations and degrees.
Right.
And they come in and they're making crumbs. Did you not take a business class? They're making crumbs, and then they have 1 or 2 bad fights, the UFC kicks them out, and that's it. Well, damn, can you imagine Kobe Bryant had a bad game and he got kicked off the damn Lakers? So is this really a sport, or is this just purely merely ego and entertainment? So a lot of these fighters that need to come forth won't. So I did an interview, and they said, well, McKee, what would you do? Well, first off, more fighters need to open up gyms. But you see how immediately, when I started talking and saying certain things, the UFC starts opening up gyms everywhere. They're branding the UFC. They don't give a shit about the fight. They're branding the UFC. Okay, which is a smart business move. I can't knock Lorenzo and them for their business intelligence. That's awesome.
Right.
But at the end of the day, fighters need to come together and say, you know what, enough is enough. Fighters need to start opening up gyms. Fighters need to start getting their licensing and becoming promoters. And sponsors need to loosen up and allow some of these other smaller guys to be competitors toward the UFC and these other organizations, because we just can't have one stronghold here. That's truly monopoly, no matter how you try to bend and shape it. And for Dana to make more money at 10% ownership than the fighter that brings the stock to the UFC is crazy and ridiculous to me. The bonuses backdoor, yeah, you can brag about all of that, but I'd rather see you take all those bonuses and put them in a pot and split it down the middle and pay these fighters based on their fight record, based on their fight level, and then I think we can start moving forward toward more positive viewers, and positiveness as far as the sport growing to be a sport. You know, and I support the UFC as well. Don't think I'm bashing the UFC. I'm really not. I'm just giving you...
Right.
I'm analyzing this from my knowledge as a fighter, my knowledge as a promoter, my knowledge as a trainer, my knowledge as a manager. They have to, at some point, recognize that this isn't right. And there may be billions of dollars made first, but at some point, fighters need to come together to make this change. Why would I want to pay you $100,000 when I got this guy over here who's 22, 23 years old, he's dumb as a boxing rock, and he'll give me a 5-fight deal starting out at 5-5.
Right.
And we can build whoever we want. Because it's truly not the greatest fighters in the world are fighting in the UFC. We all know that. I'm 42 years old. 10 years ago, I'd have beat the crap out of Jens Pulver. He would have never beat me. I was playing with Jens Pulver back then.
Right.
But I didn't get the opportunity because I wasn't willing to play the game. And not only that, true fact, true statement for a lot of people who don't like, you know, the fact that I'm about to say this, but at that particular time, they primarily wanted the MMA world to be the next great up-and-coming white sport. And I said it in an interview about 15 years ago. I said, as soon as one black person evolves from this sport, all the rest of them are going to start doing it, and you're going to have some serious problems. Why? Because this isn't just about how good your technique is. This is about athleticism. This sport is truly merely about athleticism. And look at your champion. Look at them right now. Bones Jones walked right through Rampage. He walked right through Machida. Why? Because he's so damn athletic. GSP, what did he do? He's fighting the best fighters in the world, and he's walking through them like it's nothing. Why? Because he's so damn athletic. Come on. And the base is wrestling. All your champions are coming from a wrestling background. We gotta just accept it for what it is. Like I said, this is a professional sport for wrestlers. So, you either adjust your rules a little bit to make it more exciting, which I've got to lay out. Hey, instead of 5-5, why don't you go 3 3-minute rounds? Now you're going to get excitement because when you make a fighter fight 5-5, he's not getting ready to go out there and try to get it over with. He knows this guy's tough. He wouldn't be in this title fight if this guy wasn't tough. So he's got to go on a reserve tank. He can't just go out there and throw his gas tank out.
Right.
5-5, that's a long time to be full combat fighting.
Changing gears a little bit, I'm curious, how did you get your nickname Mandingo?
Okay. Now, for those people who are ignorant, they would say it's because of a male black penis and the movie Mandingo. But actually, Mandingo came from me, personally, spiritually, my lineage. I am from a Zulu tribe in Africa. And I believe my great ancestors were Mandingos because they were the most fierce warriors in Africa. They would make Campbell's soup out of the Zulus. And the British government helped annihilate them, giving the Zulus guns to help control Africa. So I'm that warrior mentality. And they were intelligent. But they were very peaceful, very humble. But you weren't going to run up on one of them, and they didn't believe in leaving their prey behind. They would behead them, and they would take their skulls, and it was kind of like, it's kind of like the predator. They were like predators. But they were actually Mandingos, and that is an actual tribe of Africa. So I just went back to my lineage, and I pulled that up, and it represented that. Not some black guy running around with a big penis, or the movie The Mandingo with the white woman with the black man. I didn't even know about that movie, and I had that name. I had that name when I was in high school, junior high. That's a spiritual thing. You have to jump on that spiritual plane with me to understand where I'm going with that one. Maybe Eddie Bravo or Joe Rogan will know what I'm talking about. Time traveling.
Antonio, do you have a prediction for your fight at MFC 32 against Brian Cobb?
I think it'll be probably one of the most entertaining fights of the night. I think Brian Cobb is definitely a respectable opponent, and he's a good guy. If we chose to go out and wrestle with each other, it could probably be very interesting for those who understand wrestling, and those who understand the grappling game would probably be amused by that. But regular fans are too stupid to understand the technicalities behind what we would be doing. So I think me and Brian have basically decided that we're going to go out here and we're going to both stand up, and we're going to just go for it.
Antonio, real quick before I let you go, do you have any sponsors you'd like to thank? Anything you want to say to the fans?
Man, you know what? The first person we got to always thank is God. and then thanking you guys for bringing me on, because without you guys I wouldn't be able to talk, and I wouldn't be able to have fans, and I wouldn't be able to have critics. Thank you for letting me on the show. I don't really have any sponsors because I'm not, you know what I mean? I just haven't gotten any sponsors.
Right.
I'm just not in it for all that stuff. I'm in it for the glory of it and, you know, just pure, merely entertainment and fun for me.
Antonio, thank you for taking the time to talk. I really appreciate it. Good luck at MFC 32 against Brian Cobb.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.